right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, outsiders of all ages, the Texas Longhorns are 4-0, getting ready for another conference game, and it's a What Are You Drinking Wednesday, and we have another incredible guest coming up for you on the Outsiders. Let's get you introduced on a What Are You Drinking Wednesday. Your upper left, as always, is the quarterback, Chance Mock. Chance Mock, what are we drinking?
We're always drinking Tequilina. That's what we drink. Tequilina and water.
Oh,
beautiful stuff. I got it in a can. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's perfect. Always Tequilina.
Man's got his tequila in a can. I love that. Upper right tonight is Jason Dick. Jason Dick, what are you drinking?
Well, I learned today, gentlemen, it's going to take 4 months to fix my this is a cup of straight poison. I'm going out tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's appropriately out of a Dallas Cowboys cup. Lost as a 2-touchdown favorite to the Cardinals. Farewell, Wolf.
You're going to lose a lot more, Jason, FYI.
Man. And again, best wishes to anybody who's dealing with the stuff like Jason is with the broken windshields and everything from those storms the other night. The hail was unbelievable. Your lower right tonight, rocking the Astros hat, is the voice of the people. It's Chris Abbott. Chris, what are you drinking?
Well, guys, I'm watching the Astros in the background, and we're already down 1-0. So I'm having a Miller Lite. It might be 3 or 4 of these things by the time this game's over.
Okay, I was just wondering if you maybe spiked
switch
that
it to whiskey, bro. Just switch it to whiskey.
I was gonna say
solve the fucking problem and let's go.
Yeah, I think you're right, bud.
May need to be something else. Your lower left, as always, is the country gorilla, Bo Edge. Bo Edge, what are you drinking?
Coors Light.
It's
Can't go wrong with the Coors Light Wednesday night.
Hey, and look at that. Razor checking in. Bo's son, Razor, says, I'm drinking a root beer float. There is nothing wrong with a root beer float. Rogue Shop says, let's get it. Sallyin. Hookem. We got Hookem's coming in from Round Rock and all over the place. Thank you all for joining us on the Outsiders. I got a 30th high school reunion coming up. So for the next few days, just trying to keep it all together, just going with some sparkling water. Nothing crazy, nothing mixed in yet, because that's going to be happening at the reunion when I realize that, everybody else is prettier than me. So right now, we're just staying away from that alcohol. So we thank you for jumping in the Specs chat tonight. Super chat. Look at Izzy with the $1.99 super chat going all out. My opinion, we're giving KU too much credit.
Oh. I don't disagree.
Maybe. Okay.
Well,
all
wait
right.
until we get to our score predictions. We're just trying to paint a level picture of what.
Okay.
I won't get to my score prediction, but let's put it this way. I think the Baylor score was closer than the Kansas score will be when the dust settles.
Oh, interesting. All right, there you go. Bo says wait for it, and then basically throws it out.
I think Texas has been playing nice and letting off the throttle on the teams they know they can beat, and this is the week. This is the week they go Oregon on Colorado style. They're going to stomp them out and put people in the hospital.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'll leave it there for now.
Very nice. 4-0, and maybe the most Texas fan way of thinking about a sentence I have heard throughout the season. Well done, Bo Edge. Now we're ratcheting it up. Now we're getting the level up. And by the way,
I'm matching Colt and just shirt color.
You're wearing the same shirt he's wearing, right? Oh, it's Colt in the poncho shirt.
PonchoOutdoors.com. I couldn't tell which
one. I'm wearing NASA.
It's a mirror image. Go to PonchoOutdoors.com. Find those.
Hold on, let me turn my hat around so y'all won't know which one's which.
There you go. I can't tell
just like him.
I can't tell them apart. PonchoOutdoors.com. It is the Outsiders, brought to you in part by Ponchos. We got some great partners and sponsors we're going to be telling you about as well. Also, on the chat tonight, we would like to throw it out some of your favorite tight ends, because tonight, our guest is one of the great tight ends in Texas football history. He has a record I still can't believe in the NFL we'll talk about. He is Bo Scaife, going to join us at 9:15. So, fellas, when we ask the chat for their favorite tight end, are we just talking ever, all levels, or are we just talking about favorite Longhorn tight end?
Longhorn.
No. Yeah, Longhorn.
It's got to be Longhorn, right?
This is the Outsiders. Anything goes. If they want to
Hell no.
If they wanted to put Cheryl Teagues on the list because they thought she had a tight end back in the 70s, whatever tight end you want to put in the chat, then put it in the chat. If you're in the super chat, yes.
Okay. So Bo says whatever, and Chance says no. How about this, Chance? If they super chat it, we'll talk about non-Longhorns. How about that?
All right, that's a fair deal. If you super chat it, we'll talk about anything outside of Longhorns, but I will argue with anybody. Bo Scaife is, to me, the best tight end that ever played at the University of Texas. I'm telling you, as a guy that threw to him, I could throw the ball to a freaking spot, and it didn't matter if there was a 6'3", 245-pound linebacker pushing him out of the way. That bastard would get to the ball. I'm telling you, he's that good.
There's no doubt about it. By the way, our man Sandman jumping in saying his favorite tight end would have been Scarlett Johansson. I'm not sure why that would have been, but anyway, we will get into that conversation. And thanks to Specs for helping us out.
There's a lot of ways you could take that statement.
There's really a lot of ways you could have taken that. Yes, absolutely. Predictions already rolling in from Mitchell. 42-17 is what Mitchell says tonight. Interesting. All right. So, gentlemen, as we get into, turning the attention towards Kansas, let's talk about some of the things the Longhorns need to do against the Kansas Jayhawks. This is obviously going to be barely ranked, but a ranked team. And I think we could argue, other than Bama, of course, this is going to be one of the better complete teams they've faced. It's a team that got them in 2021 in Austin. There's some revenge factor there as well. Chris Abbott, let me start with you. Give me a thought on Kansas here on this Wednesday. What are your feelings about this game?
I'm with Bo. I think this is going to be. I think Texas is going to come in and take care of this pretty easily. I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but I would love. Speaking of having a great tight end on the show tonight, I would love a carbon copy of what Zero did last week. I thought he was great. Seeing him over the middle, the one-handed grab over the middle was unreal. Such a good play. And then back to the running game. 24 was great. 4 was great. Love watching those guys bang it up in there. I'd like to see that all game. And I agree with Bo. I think Texas routes these guys this week.
Interesting. Jason, what's your feel on this thing?
I am confident, but I guess not to the degree that these guys are. I don't understand how the lines makers work. Last week, the number was so low, 14.5. And this week, the fact that versus a ranked team, Jalen Daniels is the best quarterback that Texas has faced. Particularly, the defense of Texas has been locked down. Worried about them. Don't take your opponent for granted, which I assume is a possibility last time that Kansas visited DKR. But honestly, I think they win, comfortably. I don't know if they blow the doors out. And what did you say, Bo? In some people's lives? Is that just put them in the hospital?
I just said send them to the hospital, but
yeah.
Everybody's been hurt. Like, I had friends texting me today talking about how 38-6 was weak against a team that should be 58-6. And I'm like, they were doing what they wanted to do, and they weren't going to they're not going to go 4 wide and chunk it down the field with bomb after bomb when you're already up 38-6. It's not happening. They're not trying to run up the score. Could they have? Yes. This is a type of game against a ranked opponent, rankings aside, whether Kansas deserves to be ranked, Kansas has never been hit in the mouth. And this defense is going to hit them in the mouth, and they're going to hit them in the mouth early. And this is the type of game that I think Sark doesn't just rely on his limited plays of run, to eat up clock. No, I think he's going for the jugular this week because I think he wants to tell Oklahoma, this is what's coming. Sark's playing a lot of in my opinion, he's setting up game plans to tell the story he wants to tell. And I think this week the story is Oklahoma, buckle up because there's a train coming right at your ass.
Chance Mott, give me a thought a little bit here on Daniels. This is in terms of a couple of the big stats, he and Milroe are close in some categories, but would you agree with Jason that this is the best quarterback Texas has faced?
I would not say it is. I think Milroe is the best quarterback Texas is going to face this entire year athletically. Like, there is no comparison. Jalen Daniels, he's a good quarterback. Look, he has taken Kansas from dog shit to cat shit is basically what he's done. And that's where we're at. This Texas defense is going to show him something he hadn't seen ever. And he doesn't see that kind of hustle, and this offense is going to score. Kansas is Kansas. And the fact of the matter is, everybody needs to understand this is Texas. We're playing Kansas. let's go blow the doors off this shit and be done. Like, I don't understand why people are concerned about this, other than the fact that Texas has had a history of not living up to the hype. Well, they've kind of shown us that now they're ready to fight the fights they're supposed to fight. And we're going to talk to Bo Scaife here in a little bit. And Bo will tell you, every single game we showed up, we wanted to beat the hell out of everybody we played. Period. End of story. I don't care if it's Sister Mary's School for the Blind. We're going to beat the hell out of them because we showed up to play our game. I don't give a damn about your game. We're playing our game. And I think that's where this Texas team is. So let's see what happens.
Well,
by the way, we are 2 minutes away from Bo Scaife. So it's all coming.
I'll be real brief, Jason. You asked about why the line could be there. It's because the lines makers are looking at Texas like a national power this year. They're looking at the defense and saying this team can hold water on anybody. Nobody's scoring. Like, they're looking at saying nobody's going to score more than 21 on this Texas defense right now. So if that's what the defense is giving up and the offense is going to put points on the board, that's what the spread has to be. Those are the type of lines that a Georgia gets, that a Bama in their prime gets, that LSU gets. They're looking at Texas that way this year and not like, hey, they're a big name, so they get a lot of extra action.
No, big. I just thought last week they should have been 23.5-point favorites, and this week they should be 14. But they're confused. Gambling's confusing for people like me, Bo. Okay, it's very
gambling's confusing to everyone.
They want to get that money.
Abbott's 8-4 and what is it? 8-4.
8-4, bud. 8-4.
Yeah,
3-0 last week.
7-4-1 guy. I can't compete with 8-4 when I'm 7-4-1.
They want to make sure that money is coming in, and it is Texas at about 7.
I say we tell them about some roofs and get to Bo.
What is that?
I say we tell them about some roofing and then get to Bo Scaife.
Well, I thought we were going to tell them about some last stand and then get to Bo Scaife. Isn't that how it works?
That first then.
Yeah, that's probably how it works.
Look at Bo Edge trying to grab the wheel. Knock it off.
Since we do have another incredible interview coming up, we should tell you about Last Stand. Bo, tell them about it.
Last Stand, the true fans brand. You can see right on the screen, there's a QR code. There's something you can type in to get a discount of 10% off your hat. And right there on the screen are 3 of the new line that Mike Murphy and Last Stand Hats is coming out with for Texas-Oklahoma week. So go to the website, check it out. They have a wide array of hats. I'm wearing one right now. You can get them in any color that they have, orange, black, white, many different styles. It is the true fans brand. If you don't have a Last Stand hat, you're missing the boat. Last Stand Hats, Outsiders 10. Check them out.
And now we get to the man of the hour, Mr. Bo Scaife. Skis, how you been, bro?
Good guy. Long time.
Man.
Good to hear your voice. Good to see you, man. Good to see you smiling. Good to see what you guys are doing on the Outsiders, man. I'm glad to be here. Appreciate you guys having me.
Man, we love having you, bro. Like, it's so funny because I was talking to Brock Edwards today, and we were laughing about Coach Brew because, Brew recruited me, and I told people the other day, I said, man, the first time I really took a look at Texas is when Sims committed. I was like, oh, shit. And then all of a sudden we got Bo Scaife. I was like, hold on. This tight end coming out of Colorado, he's coming down here to play with us? I was like, shit. And then we got C Red. What? Like, oh, now we got some real shit going on. And so we were laughing about it because I said, man, Coach Brew, he came to my house and he said, man, Mock, I'm Brew. I'm Brew. And the first time I got to camp, and y'all were in the tight ends room. I came up first day of camp, and I was like, "What's up, Brew?" He goes, "I ain't Brew. I'm Coach Brewster to you, boy." And I was like, "Oh shit! Now I'm in the real shit."
Oh yeah.
So, did Brew recruit you too?
Yeah, he recruited me, and he did his little sweet dance for my family. He's up here in Colorado right now, so we're close. I've seen him a couple times up here. So he's still doing the same thing, still holding that, talking to third person, and he's still doing the best guys to his college.
Man, do you remember Chris? Chris comes in first day of camp, and he's got the number 8 hanging in his locker. And he walks up to Brew's office. And he goes, Brew, they gave me number 8. And Brew, in true recruiting fashion, goes, just like your boy Troy Aikman.
Yep.
And when I heard that, I was like, hold on. This is Phil Simms' son, the New York Giants. like Chris Simms is going to give a shit about Troy Aikman of the Cowboys? Really?
Yeah.
Straight recruiting. So, look, you see this team, man, I think about our team. And I think about the way that we played, the way we competed every day. Like, practice was harder than the games. And Coach Brown used to always preach that, right? Like, we used to fight every day. Sometimes we have to go fight in the storm. Like, that's what happens. But you look at this team, what characteristics about this team do you see that maybe we're getting back to where we need to be?
I can tell that the younger guys who were up and coming, the receivers, the quarterback, you can tell they're more mature this year. You can tell they've stepped up in a leadership role and not just vocally leading on the field. And that's what it was all about for us. Like, we had guys like C-Red, who would rally the troops, he would motivate. But we know when he gets between those lines, he's going to turn into this whole different monster. And that's what we had. We had a bunch of guys, as soon as they stepped on the field, they turned into monsters. And I think we're starting to see that too, with this team. The defensive line is playing out of their mind. They're punishing the quarterback. Every time someone gets the ball, they're running to the ball and they're hunting people down. So, that's the kind of football you need to play, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Now, on the offensive side of the ball, people are scared of them now. We know we can go deep. We know Sark's going to mix it up, run, pass, play action, and we got playmakers that we know how to get the ball to. So this is an exciting time right now for Texas football, and I just hope they can keep it rolling.
But, Bo, when I look at, when we were there, and I try to correlate the two because we were building Texas back, right? Like, that was part of the recruiting pitch was, this is Texas. Texas should be here, and it's down here. And you guys come here, we can get it up here. We can pass that, right? And I look at this team, and Bo, I wonder, are those guys there? Like, I can remember, I'm competing on the field, and I'm wanting to fight people, and you're grabbing me and being like, yo, Mock, chill the fuck out, right? And you're taking that leadership. But I wonder, do those guys – because you wanted to fight just like I did, but you had the maturity to grab me and be like, yo, hey, and you gave me part of that leadership to be like, hey, look, young buck, let's calm this shit down. Do you think they have that now?
I think their coaching staff does a good job of motivating them and maybe giving guys the freedom to do that, certain guys on the team. I don't think this generation is like that, like we were, social media, NIL. There's so many factors now that, kind of take and are distractions from the things that you need to be a solid team and have solid leaders. Guys are more worried about some of the other things that they're doing off the field and stuff like that. So we didn't have those restrictions. This is all we were. We were just the guys in this group. We did everything together. We walked to class together. We went out together. We went out to eat together. We shared clothes. We were real brothers from all over the country that came together and became a family. And it was, I can honestly say, every guy that I played with at Texas, they're my brother, and that's probably the best time of my life.
Man, I can tell you from the bottom of my heart, Bo, I love playing with you guys. It was a blessing on my life to play with y'all because we came together as a team and we did things that most teams can't do. We averaged 11 wins a season. Yeah. We talk about 11 wins for a Texas team now, and everybody's like, that'd be great. That's what we averaged over that 4 years, right? And you look at, I remember the Thursday nights we go to Longhorn Steakhouse and we'd all sit down together and break bread, and there'd be 15, 20 of us sitting down eating. And then we go out after the game and somebody mess with one of us. But, well, it was a long night for them.
Somebody call that, dog.
And then we'd have to go to Mad Dog. We have to climb those stairs and do that bear crawl. But look, we got JT Sanders right now. Like, we got a tight end that can actually do what you did, because you were a freak. I mean, you truly were. You were a wide receiver that was big enough to play tight end. You were strong enough to block, but you had the hands of some of the best receivers in the nation.
Yeah.
And now we got that. And I've been a strong believer. You know me, I'm like Chris. I think NFL is where it's at. Like, that's my love. But I think the college game is moving more towards the NFL game, because as guys get bigger, you got to run the ball. You got to use the tight end. You have to.
Yeah.
How much is that helping Texas that they actually have a tight end that can stretch the field and block at the same time?
I mean, it's huge, because it just allows you the flexibility on the offensive side of the ball to be smash mouth or to line up and stretch the field. You know, having a good tight end just opened up the guys outside. You know, it was easy for me to be successful out there because people were worried about Roy and BJ, and then vice versa. You know, you take away them, you know, you got to deal with me. So being able to have those playmakers outside, and then a guy that can stretch the field like me and DT and, you know, Jermichael Finley and those guys, like, it's just a hard thing to cover, and it's definitely mismatches. And then, you know, when you bring that running game like we had, which, you know, the Cedric Bensons of the world, Selman Young, you know, Hodges Mitchell, all those guys, that play action is so dangerous. And, you know, that's how you wear teams down. And that's what we were known for. Like, we know we're going to wear you down at some point in the game, because we're going to run it. We're telling you we're going to run it. And then we're going to hit you with some play action. And then we're going to hit some quick slants to Sloan, BJ, or Roy. Like,
and they might break those, by the way.
We had so many weapons. So it's going to pick your poison so we can win in different ways. And I think this is what that team is learning how to do, like, win in different ways. Sometimes it's going to be ugly, and you got to just run the ball 30 times and just play smash mouth. And sometimes you're going to need the big plays and those playmakers to make plays. So, you know, whatever it is, you got to have the guys, you know, who you brought in, who are the 5 stars or whatever you want to call them, your playmakers. You got to find a way to get the ball, and every good team and every good staff knows how to get the playmakers the ball.
But Bo, you played at a high level in college. You played at a high level in the NFL. And I mean, as a Bills fan, I'm going to give you a little grace for being a Titan. I think that's okay. I still love you, but you know, at some point, football is about, I'm going to hit you in the mouth. Like, that's the way it is. And I'll never forget, we're playing Kansas State. I roll out left. I run the middle linebacker over on our sideline, and Mac Brown pulls me up, and I'm thinking I did a good job because I just ran this month over.
Yeah.
And he's 245, and I just beat his ass. And Mac, he looked at me, he goes, hey, if you want 10 to take your job faster than he's going to, you might want to quit running people over. And I was like, yes, sir. Yeah. But like that attitude of like taking the fight to them. I think Texas for the last 10 years has kind of let people punch them. You know what I mean? Like, but I feel like we're finally getting back to that. Like, let's go hit somebody in the mouth first. Let's daze them, and then let's just pounce, like beat that ass.
I mean, that's always a great strategy, and that was a strategy we, like you said, we definitely took. You know, you want to strike first, and you know, I think this team is headed in that direction. I think, you know, at times they play down to their competition, and they don't really know how good they really can be. But I think they're starting to see it. I think they're starting to set a higher standard and expectation for them. Like, you're supposed to put up 40 on everybody you play. You know, the Baylors of the world, you know, Kansas. This is a different Kansas team, but, you know we're playing the Kansas, like, we're going to put 50, 60 points on them. I don't care who their coach is, what their players are. Like, that was the mentality. So they need to have this mentality and just play to this standard. And defense always sets the tone for that type of stuff too. Like, you can get these teams going 3 and out, get some hard hits, you know, light some guys up on the, you know, the run game, sack the quarterback. Those are momentum plays that they need to just kind of get that stuff going each and every game.
Bo, I remember you coming back to the huddle on many times, and you're like, hey, I'm open. Get me the ball. And, you know, at that time in my life, I was still young. I was immature. And now as I've grown, like, I've learned, you know, I go to the Bills. The Bills have Stephon Diggs plays that they're calling those plays, Diggs getting the ball. Like, period, end of story. That's what's happening. And I feel like Greg called a lot of plays that were like, hey, Scaife's getting the ball. Like, this is where it's going. We're running 9-8-9. We got 2 high safeties. Like, it's going to Scaife. And I feel like this Texas team is finally getting there to where they're like, let's get this tight end involved. You've got such great receivers, but they're worthless if you don't attack the middle of the field, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's where the mismatch is. When you got a stud like Sanders, you got to find a way to get the ball. You want to get him started early. He's going to give you those momentum plays on offense, whether it's in the run game, whether it's play action, whether it's something he's doing down the field. I mean, you can throw screens with him. You can do so much stuff with him. He's a real versatile guy. So, I like them, how they use them, whether it's in the run game, pass game, play action. They do a lot of they use him real flexible, and it's to their benefit to just get him involved early because he brings the whole offense up when he makes plays.
All right, so first of all, I'm going to ask you about what you're doing, and then we're going to bring the rest of the crew in because we've got some real hardcore Titan fans that are in this group that I really don't want to hear how much they love Bo Scaife, but whatever. I love Bo Scaife too. But yeah, so man, tell me what you're doing real quick before we get to that whole thing.
Well, man, I'll try to give you the short version of it. I mean, as everyone knows, I had an injury play career, right? I tore my ACL a couple of times, 3 times in 5 years. And, it really was an eye-opening experience for me. I suffered from depression. I was on drugs. I was doing some wild shit when I was out there, and cannabis was something that helped me in my life to just kind of slow things down and really gave me hope on how I was able to overcome this situation I was in. I was drinking, I was taking pills, and that stuff was making me sick. So cannabis has always been a part of my life. It helped me slow down things and just kind of navigate the situation I was going through. Obviously in the state of Texas, it was never looked at. It still isn't looked at as something that's pretty popular, but the benefits of it medicinally and the other properties are undeniable. So for me, I came out here to Colorado. This is where I'm from. This is where I grew up. So I started my own cannabis brand. I actually have a farm down in southern Colorado, 140 acres. And we're actually building a wellness resort. So it's kind of like a winery for cannabis where people can come and just enjoy cannabis without having to look over their shoulder and just enjoy the benefits and just kind of mellow out. I'm in a bunch of stores here in the Denver metro area. And, man, I can't even lie to you, man. I really love what I'm doing right now, and I can't wait to share it.
And Bo, I see a lot of the flower that you're breeding right now, and you've got some really cool, interesting stuff that I think the world hadn't caught up to the true benefits of cannabis for those that deal with mental issues, with anxiety, with stress. Even with pain, those things. I mean, because there's 123 cannabinoids in a single bud, so there's a lot. So I think that's awesome, and it's all Pro Farms. Y'all can see it right there. Hit the QR code if you got some interest. I mean, Bo, I'm telling you, I know the guy, and when I tell you I trust the man for what he's doing, I know that his farms. He's breeding the best. So that I can say. All right, let's bring the whole crew in here.
Bring that down to Texas with you guys, man, and just sit down and partake. Everybody's like, hey, what are you drinking tonight? Instead of like, Bo, what are you smoking tonight? I'm water with a little bit of indica. Can I join the club, guys?
In the couch. That's what it is.
Chance. That'd be Mr. Is that Alfio right there?
Oh, Alfio back in it.
Little what's up?
Hey, right. Big Cat. Hey, Bo, I did tell them. I said, Big Cat, y'all don't know. Big Cat might not have had the career long term that everybody thought. Dude was the most acrobatic person at 330 pounds that I've ever seen in my life.
Man, he's one of the greatest human beings I've ever just come across in my life, man. Just the best heart, best intentions. It wants to see everyone, do well, but he's not going to take no shit.
Hey, but will he not do anything for anybody anytime?
Anytime.
I'm telling you, his name is Big Cat, but you could call him at 3 a.m. and the dude will get up and drive 3 hours to pick you up and make sure you're safe.
You'll answer the phone for sure.
That is good stuff. Hey, Bo Scaife, quick favor. Do you have a time constraint or can you hang with us for about 10 more minutes?
Oh, I'm good, man. I don't got nothing to do, man. This is after hours. Me, baby.
Okay, so we're going to hopefully entertain you with questions, but before that, you'll be entertained by number 5 trying to pronounce this tequila. So here we go. Chance, tell them about this tequila.
It's El Tequilino. That is what I drink. It is the best because it is hangover free. The reason it's hangover free is because it is done with all the impurities that come because it's distilled multiple times. It is distilled with natural, beautiful spring-fed water. It's one of only 4 distilleries in the entire nation that does that. So you know what it does? It makes me feel better. It makes me look better in my own eyes. Makes the women look better. And it makes me make really poor decisions. But one decision that I don't make that's bad is drinking El Tequilino.
Ah,
I was so close.
we were right there. We were right there.
Pronunciation with Chance. This
Oh.
week's edition, El Tequilino.
Fantastic. All right, we got Bo Scaife right there. Let's work our way around the outsiders. We'll start with the voice of the people.
Hold on, real quick.
What?
Hold on, real quick.
Yeah?
Hold on. Come here.
Uh-oh.
What is going on?
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Bo Shizzle! Was my dad a punk in high school or was he a dog?
Your dad's a dog.
He was a dog?
Yeah, man. He definitely got bigger muscles than you.
Tell his ass to go to bed, please.
Yeah. I love it.
Get
Wow.
your ass out of here.
There's so much attitude with this younger generation. What is happening?
That's my 14-year-old son, bro.
My goodness. Chris Abbott, ask Bo Scaife a question, man.
Yeah, what's going on, Bo? How are you?
What you guys doing?
Good. Hey, listen, man. I know, back when you were coming to Texas, Colorado was a good program back then. What made you choose Austin, and what got you down here with the Horns?
Oh man, it's an easy question. You want to play in front of 48,000, or you want to play in front of 100,000?
Right.
The way Mac Brown and Coach Brewster came to recruit me, I mean, it was unbelievable, man, and just it felt so right. I came on my recruiting trip to Texas with Eli, so it was me and Eli Manning. We had an amazing time. I was going there for sure, and I knew we were going to have that number 1 recruiting class that year too. So.
Right.
My mindset was I want to go where the best players are going. If you're a guy who thinks highly of yourself, you want to play with the best because it's only going to make you better. So there was no chance I was staying home. I did like Neuheisel, Embry, Coach Durrell, all those guys. I mean, great coaching staff, Bieniemy. All those guys were great guys that I looked up to. But it was the easiest decision for me. I mean, let's go play with the best players in front of 100,000.
Right. I like
Jason Dick?
Bo, thanks for being on the show tonight. Very important, very serious question. As a tight end, on behalf of the tight end community, how big of a win is it that Travis Kelce is smashing Taylor Swift now?
Tight ends are up 1 million right now. There's a Travis.
I think they're down 1 million. I think Taylor takes you down, bro.
Listen, Chance. If you'll be lucky in this world, if you get to sniff a woman like Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift, I got a daughter, and you got to give props where they're due.
I had Nelly Furtado.
Listen, this woman is amazing all across the world. She has people crying at her concerts. She handles herself well. She's not walking around half naked, none of that stuff. This is an elegant, smart, intelligent woman who is just impacting the entire universe right now. So the fact that Travis Kelce can pull a woman like this, and she's really into him and showing up and not really worried about who's going to be there and watching, it just shows you how big football is and how much it brings people together and how everyone loves the game.
Hey, and to that point, I have to say, I thought it was cool as hell, and I don't think it was an act. I think it was absolutely true. This woman performs in front of 70, 80,000 people a night, and it sells out in literally 5 minutes.
Yeah.
She went to a football game, and they're up 40 points, and she's banging on the glass. That's some real shit. She understands that.
She's going hard for her boo, man. Listen, if you're dating me, you better be up in the box doing that for me too if I score. This is just code for the ladies. You got to support your guy out there, man.
I mean, Bo, just to think about the dream of that. The tight end makes a play, and that woman screams, "Let's fucking go," and bangs on the glass. I mean, really, that really is the full evolution of the tight end position, isn't it? I mean, really.
His game is amazing itself, but now you're talking about his game off the field. Amazing as well.
Yeah.
So he's the QB off the field. So he has Mahomes when he's on the field, and then he's the QB off the field, and look who he's throwing to now. So, yeah, man, congrats to Travis Kelce, man. I'm a big fan of him. I became an even bigger fan. Whether it's a business decision or not, Coach Brown used to always tell us, marry rich.
All right.
Hey,
maybe
hold on.
That may be the greatest question and answer we've ever had on the Outsiders. So I don't know who follows that.
And I'm going to take a shot.
Wow.
I'm going to take a shot because it's taking a shot at Chance too. So we'll see. We'll get the true answer because Chance
can
told
always
us before
take a
you
shot
came
at
on
Chance. That's fine.
that you had the best hands that he threw to during his tenure at UT. Well, a couple of weeks ago we had BJ Johnson on talking about Chance, and was there anybody that had a problem? He said Chance threw the slant too damn hard and nobody should have to catch that ball. And along those lines, A, did Chance throw the ball too damn hard on slants? And B, when you were in the NFL, did Tom Brady throw the most catchable ball?
All right, question one. Chance definitely threw hard. He threw it too hard, but you know, when you got all those guys fighting for balls, I'm just happy the ball's coming. I don't care how hard he's throwing that shit. I'm gonna snag it. So I wasn't that never worried me about how hard someone's throwing the ball. I mean,
B's a prima donna. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, you know, B wants to catch it like this. I'm gonna come in there and snag it one hand and be out the gate. So I'm just happy. I was just happy the ball's coming. But Chance had a cannon for sure. Tom Brady, I don't know if he throws the best ball. Like, I don't know if he throws the best ball. There's some guys in the league that can throw. And, you know, believe it or not, like B.Y. threw a really easy ball to catch.
He did.
Like, he just had like it looked like it was coming, but it was just soft when you caught it. Like Mahomes' ball is like that too. So you got those guys where the ball is coming hard, but it's just soft on your hands, you know? So, I mean, there's a lot of great, you know, throwers in the NFL right now. I mean, there's one on every team, and shit, I would catch balls from any of those guys. I can't even lie to you right now. Put me in the game.
Bo, a slight serious one from me back to the cannabis discussion, because you made me think of something, and I'm so glad to hear that that's your story with cannabis. And I've heard so many of those stories in football, guys that have discovered it over the years. Do you have a story where you were able to take your particular story, but see it in another football player, to see it in a former player, to see it in somebody that was going through that pain and the issues you were, and get to see it help them? Have you gotten to go through that?
To be honest with you, I mean, the coaches call me a lot. Like, you know, when these guys are tearing their ACLs and stuff, just to like get on the phone with them. Like, it's a significant injury. I mean, in the prime of your career, like, you're supposed to make it to the NFL. Like, a guy who had 3 ACLs, Coach Brown literally sat me down in his office and told me you shouldn't play football anymore. And I could have easily just been like, you know what, Coach, you're right. And just shut it down. I don't give a fuck anymore. I go kill myself, because that's how I was feeling during that time. Like, I
remember that time, Bo.
Type of shit, you know, like, if I can't play football, like, what else am I need to live for? You know, so I know the trauma that guys deal with when they face these type of injuries, especially at a young age, because you're not developed yet. You know, this is some adversity that you're learning how to deal with, and you got to grow up to learn how to deal with this type of adversity. So, you know, I talk to guys, you know, weekly just on how to overcome adversity and how to bounce back, because, you know, when you're faced with stuff like that, that's where you really transform. And I can't even lie, like, that shit made me a beast to be able to bounce back from that and keep my dream going and find a way to make it through the NFL, regardless of what they were saying. Oh, he's injury prone. He's not going to make it. I mean, there was guys, they had no idea I was going to come back and play at the level I was going to play.
They didn't. Bo, they didn't.
Yeah, they didn't.
We knew.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen.
We fucking knew.
Listen, any of you guys were a betting man, I don't think anybody would have bet on me. Just me and God. All right. You know, like
I don't know, Bo. I don't know. We knew your ass. We knew what you were made of.
NFL are already 1%. So what do you think the chances are of a guy who's tore his knee up 3 times making it to the NFL?
But I knew you'd outwork anybody to get there, and I knew who you were, and I knew you refused to take no for an answer.
Yeah, but I went through a dark time to get
You
to that.
did. I remember that.
Believe that. And that's what I help dudes do now. Like I help guys get through that dark space because as men, you know, and not just, I don't want to single out anyone, but as men, we carry a lot. We carry a lot on a daily basis, whether it's our family, our careers, our professional life, our personal life. We carry a lot. And so it's hard for us sometimes to fight through these demons and things that we face because we want shit so bad, you know? And so it's good to have guys that just can help pull you through and just speak life into you sometimes, because that's all you really need is just those guys to speak a little life into you so you can get to that destination that you're seeking out.
Boaz, you got something?
Well, yeah, with two things. One, I want to congratulate
first of all,
you.
Bo, I need you to tone down the Titan shit, okay? Because I know you're a giant Titans fan.
One word about the Titans.
He didn't say one word yet.
I know what's coming.
No, this isn't even a Titans question.
Okay.
Butthole. All right.
Well, you were so political with that.
I was going to congratulate Bo on getting his MBA out of college because I think that's remarkable when athletes come back and get their MBA. Like, and that's part of the story. When he's talking about talking to people, that's part of the story too. Like educating, doing those things, it's commendable. So good job on that. But the question that I wanted to ask was, Bill Belichick is a legend, an icon. And I know you only got a short period of time with him, but did he do anything dramatically different than other coaches as far as how things were set up? Or was it just he did it better than other coaches?
It's a combination of both. It's definitely a combination of both. Like playing with the Patriots probably isn't the funnest thing to do, but the experience that you're going to learn, the knowledge, everything that comes with it, you're going to leave a winner because he's going to put you through this Patriot way system and you're going to come out a better, smarter player. You know, we're doing little league drills before practice, just tuck drills where we're trying to strip and stuff like that. We're doing bag drills. So they really honed in on the fundamentals. You know, we're running laps if we're jumping off sides. So they really took it back to just being a real disciplined football team. And, you know, right now we see like in the league where, you know, the guys, they don't have the best receivers or the O-line struggling. Like the Patriots always fought through those issues that these teams are complaining about not with the best players or the best draft picks, like with guys that they found that they molded to their system with a great play caller that knew how to spread the ball around. And listen, Tom Brady, let's be real. He wasn't Tom Brady when he first got there. Like they developed him into the quarterback and taught him the game of football to the level in which he is now. And he excelled because of the coaching and the development that he had while he was there. Tom Brady is the man, but those guys helped build him up to who he is now and everything that he's accomplished.
See, I would argue, Bo, and this I can argue this in good faith. If Chris Sims would have been drafted by the Patriots and gotten the opportunity that Tom got under Bill Belichick, not under Gruden, Chris Sims could have done everything that Tom Brady did. I know that that's a lot to say. I know it is. But I also know the workhorse that Chris is, and I know that Chris would continue to work, and under that tutelage would have been it'd have been a whole different story.
Okay, here's my rebuttal to that. And I mean, we're talking about one of my best friends. Then the league is just a different beast. So guys can dominate college and come in, have all the intangibles, and it still might not click. And that's just the way of it. Like guys who go in and have a great year, you can go have a great year in the pros, but how can you have multiple great years, year after year after year? Like that's what makes you great. All good guys and the good players are going to have a good year in the pros. I had some good years in the pros, but how do you get it over that longevity is what makes those players great. And it's just hard to do. And you have to have a little bit of luck. You got to have a good coaching. You got to have a good locker room, players around. As a quarterback, you better have a good play caller or you're not going to be in the league that long. You better have a good offensive line or you're not going to be in the league that long. So there's a lot of factors in the success of a quarterback. And yes, the Patriots, they found a way to minimize all those factors so they can get the best out of their quarterback. And that is definitely a skill that a coaching staff does. We see Kyle doing it right now in San Francisco. He doesn't have the best quarterback in the draft.
He turned Brock Purdy into a freaking stud.
He's a stud. Yeah. Yeah, I believe in coaching, man. To me, like,
by the way, Bo, the best ever Kyle Shanahan story I've ever had in my entire life, and I've told it 1,000 times because it's the funniest shit I've ever heard. We're over at Shano's house, and I'm not even 21, and I'm like, Shano, I need some Patron. He's like, I got you. I give him the money. He goes to the store. He comes back. He gets out the car. He goes, Mop, I got your Patron. And he lifts his arm up, and when he does, Mr. Receiver, bottle slips out of his hand, and it twirls it.
Yeah.
He goes, all right, I'll be back. He left the bottle and but the dude, what he's done, his ability to use so many guys all over the field, and he has taken the pressure off of Brock. I think it's incredible because he's got so many options. They can run the ball. They can screen the ball. They can attack the middle of the field, the out routes, the deep routes. They've got so much going on, and that really is a tribute to Kyle and what he's been able to do. I mean, look at everywhere he's been. When he was with the Texans, they succeeded. When he was with the Falcons, they succeeded. Everywhere he's been, they've done well.
And that's why I'm hard on coaches. Like, if your team isn't playing good, like, you got to look at the coaches. And, that's what I love about Mac Brown. Like, if we didn't play good, he's going to take the blame. He's going to call out his staff. He's going to go to work. He's never going to blame his guys, publicly at all. And if we play well, he's going to give us all the praise. He's going to give his staff the praise and stuff like that. But you need great coaches, and the coaching system is a true buddy fraternity system. So, like, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, there's a lot of average coaches out there, but when you find the good ones, they definitely stand out, and the teams benefit from it. The good teams benefit from it.
That is Bo Scaife. Anybody else got something for Bo Scaife before we let him go?
Well, Chad, you referenced so if you're not going to say it, Bo Scaife only tied in NFL history, touchdown, receiving touchdown, kickoff return, and a tackle the same season. If that doesn't get you in the hall, close Canton down. What the fuck?
Man, that is awesome. I read that one today, and I was just like, wow, that's pretty cool. Only tied in.
I'll take it. I will definitely take it, man.
In NFL history. I like that.
Adam Dunn has that list of everybody that he's hit a homer off. They made up. Bo, we should get a plaque made of that exact record so Bo can put that up on his wall. Only NFL tight end to ever do it.
Yes,
I already got one.
My God.
Already got one. It's already been made. Chance, you want to say goodbye?
Bo, thank you for your time. And if we can, before we get out of here, let's put his stuff up there, the all pro stuff, just so you can get it. Bo, love you, brother. I appreciate you. I love seeing the tight ends actually getting back into Texas football. I'm a 12 personnel guy. I'm an NFL guy. I love running the ball. I love smash mouth. Let's get the tight ends involved. And finally, we're doing it. Love you, brother. I appreciate your time, man.
I appreciate you guys having me, man. Keep rolling. I'll see you guys down there soon.
Thank you, Bo. Bo Scaife, ladies and gentlemen. Good stuff there. All Pro Farms. Healing the folks with the cannabis out in Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. It is the Outsiders, the Wednesday edition, the What You Drinking Wednesday edition. Wherever you're joining us from tonight, we appreciate you doing that. Once again, credit to Jason Dick for question of the night. I got a feeling like that one might get recycled tomorrow during the 12 to 3 show, the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce question. That was fantastic. Man, that was good. All right, speaking of Jason Dick, we have the Dick Move of the Week coming up. But first, why don't we hear a little bit about the top, as in the top of your house, Prosperity Roofing.
Prosperity Roofing. Their motto is prosperity equals peace of mind. peace of mind is knowing that the biggest investment in your house, or at least one of them, is the roof. It's a 20 to 30-year investment. You don't want to use some fly-by-night storm chaser or some dude that they're putting their card on your door when they're walking around the neighborhood. No, you want a company who's family-owned, been in the Central Texas area for over 25 years. They live in Liberty Hill. They live in Round Rock. They live in Cedar Park. The family is here, centrally Texas-based. And they're 5-star rated by Google, Yelp. Go on there, scan the QR code. All of it's on their website. They were just voted best of the best Central Texas. And there's one reason: quality and service. What they do is take care of it. And that's what you want. These storm chasers will give you a better price, or they'll try to finagle a deal, or they'll do all these things, but they won't be there when you need them. And you can't guarantee the quality of their work. If you have someone like Prosperity Roofs take care of your roof, you know your family's safe. If you want a phone number, 810-1747. That's 810-1747. But the best way is scan the QR code, go to the website, and then when you order your roof or have them come out, tell them the Outsiders sent you. You get 10% off the cost of your entire roof. It's Prosperity Roofing.
Very cool stuff. It is the Outsiders on a Wednesday night. Remember, tomorrow night at 9, it is the breakdown show of the week. Chance Mock digging into those Kansas Jayhawks a little bit. We'll talk about Mr. Daniels, talk about that offense. Kansas has a pretty good defensive front as well. Texas looking at 2 straight ranked opponents, starting with Kansas, who just crept in at 24, and then, of course, Oklahoma coming up in 2 weeks. All right, before we get done, we got to have the dick move of the week. And so we make sure it's not us. We're going to go to Jason Dick for that dick move of the week. Jason, what do we have?
You guys are clean this week. Yes. Congratulations. Ryan Day, coach of the Ohio guys, just moments after I was not ready for that, Blake. That's good.
There it is.
Scoring I'm going to say miracle victory over 10 Notre Dame defenders. His first sentiment after the game, he's still on the field. Sideline reporters asking him about the win, and he immediately says, I want to know where Lou Holtz is at. Where Lou Holtz is right now, because apparently Lou Holtz, who's 14 years old, went on the Pat McAfee show last week and said it is not tough. First of all, that's what people do when they go on shows. All right. And that was the first thing that Ryan did after he got off the field. I would say that to me, that's a coach who's not keeping his eye on the ball, but also he's an old man, Ryan Day. You went into a yelling tirade about how it's us against the world because it's told you that you weren't tough. Dick move, Ryan Day. Dick move.
It's a complete and utter dick move. Do you want to know what, to me, the equivalent of this is? It's when Bob Stoops beat us in 2000, then him turn around and saying, hey, Darryl Royal, you can shut up now, blah, blah, blah. Really? Like, that's where you're going with this? Like, you should be better than that. You're the coach of Ohio State. Grow a freaking pair and act like a grown-ass man and leave Lou Holtz alone. I mean, you can say what you want. Jesus Christ. Like, look at it.
Chad, does Lou Holtz have an answer?
I mean, first off, we're talking about an 86-year-old man. 86-year-old Lou Holtz.
Could you imagine what Texas fans would do if Bob Stoops in 2000 would have been like, hey, Darryl Royal, what do you think about this now? Like, Texas fans would have lost their minds.
Let me tell you, folks, here's the bottom line. Chance Mockey knows how to whoop his ass. You see those eyes? You see those devil eyes I got? 86 years old. I will mess you up. I may have coached God's team, but I might be about as old as God right now. But I kick your ass, Rouge boy. You look like you got your little cheeks with the red. You look like a damn doll. You want some? I'm not hard to find. I'm just like Dion. Dion's not hard to find because he's loud. You know why I'm not hard to find? I can't move that well. But when you get to me, I will whoop your ass. That's what happened. You understand? I said you're not a physical football team, and it took you 2 times to get in the end zone against 10 men. So I said, sounds like you're not a physical football team. I got to be you're going to be apologizing to the Notre Dame coach because you weren't physical enough to score on. Now I've got to apologize to him on the backside. You know what they say, Ryan Day? They say, I don't care about what you know till I know how much you care. You know what I mean? I think you do. So I don't really care what you know or know what you care about because I would whoop your ass if you come. And I'm still saying they're a better football team every day of the week. That's what I'm saying.
Awesome. So good.
Man.
Outstanding. I can't deal with this.
Oh,
So good.
It was
Like at some point there, Lou Holtz morphed into someone else. It was really amazing.
oh my God.
That was amazing.
But it's also bizarre. Jason brings up the first point. It's a great example of we always block out the noise except when we don't. Right? I don't read the
Chad
paper
goes straight to being cool again.
except when I do. Like, how do you do that? We don't read the paper except when we read the paper. And he goes after an 86-year-old man. But here's what, like I said today on the show, guys, we've now finally crossed the line with Lou Holtz. Lou in public never used to do that. Ever. He would always be super nice. He would always do this goofy stuff about, let me tell you what. Holy Cross might beat us this week. Seriously. Holy Cross on third down might be the best team I've ever seen on film. He would like overdo it throughout the week, and then he'd build his team up later. And he did all the save Jimmy Johnson for me. He did that behind the scenes. Now we got him out front. I hope it's not over. I really hope that this is not over. Like,
everybody
they need to put Lou on every week now and let him go. Just let him go. Like all the time.
I can't deal with it.
So we had a texter that said we should have asked Bo Scaife if this team was legitimately worth a shit. And that might be something we need to start incorporating into every guest just so we could get, Bo or Casey or one of those guys to be like, these Longhorns are legitimately worth a shit. But does Lou Holtz think that the Texas Longhorns are legitimately worth a shit?
I'm going to say, well, they may be legitimately worth it. Notre Dame still whooped their ass. Notre Dame is the most physical football team on the planet. About it, I tell you something. Here's the question you need to ask Lou Holtz. Lou, what do you think about Mel Tucker at Michigan State? Let me tell you something. I learned something a long time ago. I've been around when they invented the phone. I'm so old. I know when they invented the phone, and then they had the mid phone, and then now. Here's what it is. If you're on the phone late night with a woman, and she asks what you're doing, and that is what you're doing, you need to come up with a damn lie. If you can't lie in that short amount of time, I can't help you. That's just bad fundamentals. That's bad fundamentals. If she asks you, and at that moment it's in your hand, guess what, dumbass? Say something else. Say something else. I'm messing with the remote control. I'm binging the Mandalorian. Something else.
Oh my God.
Face hurt.
On my crappy radio show today, we asked how many 86-year-old Lou Holtzes would it take to kick Ryan Day's ass, and I posited 11. But after that, Chad, I'm going down to 1. I'll pick Lou Holtz today over Ryan Day.
That answer is 1, Willie Stargell. It's 1. That's right. It's 1. We are family. I am his family. The remote tomorrow.
Oh,
all right.
Like, I hope everyone else is having as much fun with this as we are, because this might just be a 5-person show watching ourselves, but I'm dying.
All right. So before we wrap up, and it is 10 o'clock, which means we've gone slightly late again, which is what we do
Sorry.
on the Outsiders occasionally.
It's Lou Holtz's fault.
It is Lou Holtz's fault. Yes, it is Lou Holtz's fault.
Oh, my God.
And remember, if you pay enough in a super chat, Lou Holtz will say just about anything. Lou Holtz sang The Eyes of Texas on the very first House Divided show because somebody paid for it. So that may happen too. All right, so that was your dick move of the week. We do that on Wednesdays. Let's get people hungry and let's get people clothed before we get out of here. Stuffed Cajun Meat Market.
Yes.
Bo, tell me about some Cajun food.
All right, so Jason is hosting a significantly sized tailgate right there by the stadium this weekend. And he texted me and said, I want to take care of my peeps. How do I do that? Stuffed Foods. So we got with Kurt at Stuffed Foods, scanned the QR code, went and looked at the tailgate packages, and for Jason's group, we got them gallon of the boudin dip that we've talked about, 2 Cajun buffets, an appetizer trio, and 15 meat pies and 15 crawfish pies, straight from Natchitoches, Louisiana. if you want your tailgate to rock like Jason's does, it's very simple. Scan the QR code, order some packages, tell them that the Outsiders sent you, and you'll get a discount. Depends on the size of the order. So just tell them the Outsiders sent you and get some good food. It's going to be real easy, Jason. You're just going by at 10 a.m. Saturday, picking it up and going straight to tailgate, correct?
Welcome. Yes. Thank you, Bo. Thank you, Curtis. Stuff Foods. You guys are the best.
There you go. They will get you ready for your tailgate. By the way, Texas Boy throws in a super chat before we get out of here. $4.99. Loved it. Hook 'em. See ya. Almost, Texas Boy. Thank you for that. We're glad you're jumping in tonight. There's Colt in a poncho shirt. He is fishing right now, not currently fishing for an NFL job, but somebody needs to call him. My God, Colin Kaepernick wrote a letter to the Jets, and Colt's still fishing? What is going on in this?
He don't want to play for the Jets.
Colt never wrote a letter to the Jets.
Colt, I mean,
Please take me. Please.
Hey,
Colt, you know
maybe
what?
Kaepernick can send him some cookies. If he sends Robert Saleh some cookies, maybe that would be the impetus to get it over.
No, what he needs to do is send that other picture. Blake, send a picture of him driving. He'll send a picture and say, hey, I can drive there. I can be there quickly. There it is. I can jump in the vehicle. We're ready. Let's go. It's got space in the back for all the equipment.
What's the other guy going to do at the game?
PonchoOutdoors.com. You can go check out the short sleeve, the long sleeve. We kind of have both there. Colt in the long sleeve, fishing, Colt in the short sleeve as well. All right, just about to wrap it up. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for this will be for later. This is not for tonight. But can Lou Holtz rap the lyrics to Juicy by Notorious B.I.G.? Sandman, at some point, we will have to do that. That could be a lot of fun. So tomorrow night, we will be back at 9 o'clock. Our man, Chris Abbott, will be coaching the Children of America. Coach Abbott, I want you to use some of the motivation that Lou Holtz gave you tonight when you are – actually, don't do that. That's probably not a good idea.
I can't follow that, man.
Maybe not. Don't do that. But good luck coaching tomorrow night. Make sure the kids do it right. We will be here tomorrow night at 9. Give you the official predictions. Chris Abbott, do you have your prediction ready by any chance?
Yeah, I'm going to go obviously I'm going to go with the Horns, but we're going to go big. We're going to go I'm going to go 52-10 this week.
Ooh, 52-10.
Yeah, I'm going big time.
Big time. All right. That's his prediction. We'll give you all of our predictions tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. Oh, look at there. Chance is I just noticed. Chance got a kid over his shoulder. How about that?
He's got a mini chance. He's got a mini chance.
Look at that shot. It's like
he's wearing a Bills hoodie too.
He
said, boy, how to dress properly.
Yeah, the bodyguard.
Your dad might have been a punk, actually. Might have been a punk.
Might have. All right. Thanks, everybody, for jumping in on the Outsiders tonight. Thanks to Bo Scaife for another great interview. That is always fun on a Wednesday. We'll try to get that done again next Wednesday and just keep it rolling. Remember, bright and early tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. is Get Your Horns Up on Orange Bloods Live. Thanks to everybody for supporting it. We're headed towards 18,000 subscribers. Get your notifications, like it, and all that good stuff.
Sure, yes. What we got?
There you go. Oh, there it is. Hook. Look at that. Hook'ems all around. They're pumped. They're fired up. Longhorns are 4-0. Tomorrow night, we'll talk about how they go 5-0 against Kansas. So until 9 p.m. tomorrow night, we are the Outsiders, and we are legitimately worth the shit. If you got a problem with it, Ryan J., you come see me, you dumbass.
Hey, people, this is the time. I mean, we are legitimately